I know that we always say we're marathoning, we're not sprinting, and there's still 3/4 of this marathon left-ish, right? I mean, when it used to be 16 games, very simple. 4 games, it's the Quarterpost. 8 games, you're halfway through, right? Now it's 17 games, so what? Right around in the middle of the first quarter tonight, or in the middle, right at the start of the second quarter tonight, it'll be the Quarterpost point of the season for both the Broncos and Colts. Like, now you've reached it.
I'm confused.
I'm terrible at fractions. Always have been, never get it. Honestly, my kids say, Dad, can you help me with your homework? I said, fractions? Go ask your mother. But that said, for simplicity purposes, it is the Quarterpost of the season. We're 1 quarter through as far as I'm concerned. So why not give out awards? We do this every year, mostly.
Usually.
I think it's fun. And then we put it in the freezer, and we'll take it out at the end of the year and see if it lasted, right? If it lasted.
Usually it doesn't.
We'll defrost. That's what we determine, right? That's what we Jews and you Italians do. Is we freeze, we defrost, and then have.
Yes.
Okay.
To make sure.
Here we go.
Hey, well, first of all, you can't leave black folk out of that. If your mom told you to thaw the chicken out in the morning and you didn't, and she came home and that chicken was still frozen. Oh, man.
So there's freezing and there's having and there's defrosting?
Yeah.
My apologies. I didn't mean to leave you out.
Well, I'm saying, we're uniters here. That's what we do. We unite people.
We just order takeout.
That's what I was about to say. All right, here we go. The MVP, coach, defensive player of the year, and comeback player of the year through 1 quarter of the season. I have my awards, and then you guys are going to give yours. The MVP through 1 quarter of the season is, to me, unanimous. It's Jalen Hurts. And I had the Bills winning it all, and I still do. And I have Josh Allen winning MVP this year. I don't know. I like Jalen Hurts. Nick Sirianni is my coach of the year right now. Everything looks terrific there. I was thinking of Mike McDaniel. Micah Parsons is my defensive player of the year through the first quarter of the season. He does not lead the league in sacks or tackles for loss. Nick Bosa leads the league in sacks. You know who leads the league in tackles for loss is Max Crosby, who also has a nice amount of sacks too. But I'm just seeing Micah Parsons. I don't see anybody. I watch a lot of football. This just did. I don't know how many people in the league. I think Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons are the only people I've seen in the league who's made a tackle that they stand above Twitch just by standing there. They get false starts just by standing across from somebody. So I'm going with Micah Parsons because their team's 3-1, and I think part of the reasons why they're 3-1 is the defense. And my comeback player of the year is Saquon Barkley, who, if he keeps doing what he's doing right now, could wind up in some MVP votes if the Giants keep winning. And if the Giants come up with an 11-12 win season and threaten to win this division, scoff all you want, but you are what you are. And if the Giants keep replicating through quarters of the season what they did this year, that's a 12-win season. So Saquon, if he keeps doing what he's doing and the Giants keep doing what they're doing, Saquon might wind up with some MVP votes when it's all said and done.
What is Saquon coming back from?
Injuries.
He played 13 games last year.
He's still a comeback player of the year.
Okay.
He's still, I don't know, I guess.
All right.
How about this then?
My comeback player of the year is kind of similar. But
I'm going to go, if that doesn't require.
Because I almost did Saquon, and then I looked it up. I was like, he actually played a whole year.
I know he played a full year, but he wasn't healthy, man, last year.
Oh, and he wasn't good either. I mean, he had less than 600 yards.
If you dispute it, then I'll go Gino Smith.
I'm not disputing.
Gino Smith is coming back from obscurity.
Well, you took mine.
I'm sorry. Stay tuned for that. I apologize. Well, you shouldn't have pushed me.
I know.
He's close to the edge.
I will leave my commentary out for you to say what you want to say.
Oh, good.
But and one last thing about Coach of the Year. I was thinking of Mike McDaniel, as I mentioned, and I don't know, because I just love the way that he's handled his business. I love what he's done with the offense. I love how he's made Tua more of a confident player. I like what he has done. Man, do I like the way that he games things up. I would love to know the exact number of plays that they have. It looks like 500. Yeah. Okay, but the way that things have been played out with Tua, and it may not be his fault at all. He may have been told, "Guy can go, coach." If the coach is told, "Guy can go," he's going. And But I don't know if everything that's happened with the Dolphins and Tua is going to cost. At some point at the end of the year, somebody saying, how can I vote for Coach of the Year when that happened with Tua? So,
that's a good point.
And it may not be fair, but I think that is something that might strike against him. This is what I thought of. That's not why I chose Sirianni. I chose Sirianni because they're 4-0, man. And they're playing the best football through the first 4 weeks, or at least the most unblemished football. Those are my choices for this fake award. Chris?
I'm with you, Rich. I think MVP is unanimous. I almost went with Josh Allen, but the 4-0 is kind of a huge deal, and it's because of Jalen Hurts. Defensive player of the year, I went with Jordan Poyer. He leads the NFL with 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
He's second in pass defended. He has 6 of those. And I just think the way that Bills defense, especially in their comeback wins, has been kind of awesome. And so I'm going to give him some props here. I did go with Mike McDaniel for Coach of the Year. I think it's a culture change. It's talk about the offense. It's getting the Dolphins are an exciting team now. And when was the last time you said that?
No.
You want to watch them on Red Zone. You want to seek out their games, and I think it's largely due to him. And then I went with Gino Smith for Comeback Player of the Year, and he's coming back from not playing. The dude hasn't played in 4 seasons, and he's been awesome. He's better than 2/3 of the league right now, and nobody saw that coming except for probably him. And props to him because it's awesome.
Good stuff right there, man. But again, fair. It may be unfair to say. I don't know if it's going to cost McDaniel by the end of the year, but a lot of football between now and then. And if the Dolphins win the division and beat the Bills, then I think he will be coach of the year, unless Sirianni is still undefeated. Yeah. What do you got over there, TJ Jefferson? What's your list?
Well, my list is pretty obvious. When we talk about quarter season awards, I'm looking at a team that many thought their season was over after 3 quarters of the first game, and then they came back. So just go ahead and show. Just show it. Just show it.
Okay, so TJ Jefferson.
Just show the people.
Show the people what you got.
Who I got there. My Quarterpost awards. Cooper Rush, the MVP. Daddy Mac Mark McCarthy, Coach of the Year. Micah Parsons as the DPoY, and Jason Peters coming back as the. No, I'm just joking.
Peters is your comeback player of the year.
That's just a joke. This is just a joke.
For photograph of you
with Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones. Wow. Oh, so you're running the okie doke. That's not your real one.
That's not it. Sean Mitchell made that because we had a group text yesterday, and I
know
said,
you saw that.
Yeah. So,
and then I tweeted you back a GIF of Stephen A. Smith, rolling his eyes.
Sean went ahead and made that
I texted
card.
that back to you.
But no, Rich, believe it or not, we are in sync on our awards. As you can see, I have Jalen Hurts as the most valuable player and Nick Sirianni. So you can't tell me my Cowboy bias is there. It really hurt for me to put those 2 in there. But look what the Eagles are doing. And Brockman, I said it after the draft. I hated the Eagles draft because they got really good.
Yeah, you hated it because it was awesome.
Yeah, and it was good for them. Like the Road Warriors say, good for us, bad for you. Yeah. That's what it was. Shout out to the Eagles. They're doing it. I do believe Micah right now, Defensive Player of the Year, just because I love what Dallas's defense is doing, and he's the guy there. And Saquon, Chris, you're right, he did play, but the last 2 seasons, Saquon Barkley rushed for 627 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was injury marred. A lot of people wondered if his career was over before it really got a chance to get going. Now Saquon is playing like the guy we saw in Penn State in his first season.
I agree with you, but your point is, I knew he played last year. I would never have chosen 13 games. I did not look it up.
Hey, look, I was going to do Saquon too, and I was like, let me just check the game log.
I knew he
and
played
I was shocked at how
year.
much he actually played.
He wasn't healthy, man.
He wasn't healthy. He played 2 games the year before. Then he played 13. Like I said, 600 yards. He has that already.
I think our picks then will not stand the test of time because usually that does go to somebody who didn't even play the year before.
Yeah.